Blessings, everyone. Okay, this is feeling different today. I've got some headphones on. Let's see if it brings a clearer transmission. And my hair's wet, so excuse me playing around here with my hair. Okay. I'm just going to do an intention of flow and harmony for this transmission. And just sending energy through the heart and into the flow of life and this message coming through. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're experiencing a great deal of opening. I'm seeing this energy coming back to me, where there seems to be what I call progress with regards to a more holistic approach to life. The awareness is growing, and I'm seeing this globally, of course, which is the way that I live. But within that, there seems to be a lot of higher messages coming through. And they're coming through the movie industry and through Hollywood, through interviews, and I guess TV. I don't watch TV, but it just feels like there's a platform that's been raised through the media, and with regards to the celebrities and the people that are out there and that have influence in the world, where they're really bringing through a higher message of this time that we're living in. Lots of personal stories there as well, which is beautiful. And also this sense of no separation. So there isn't, I don't feel celebrity status. I feel it's that we're all one. So it's really beautiful. So it is shifting. Hallelujah. We're in September now. Today's just checking here, 27th of September, 2018. The past year, since last September, has been, I feel it's been very difficult for lots of people. There's been a tension around that came in last August equinox, and we've just been through, and we're at the tail end of the equinox this September, and there's much more light coming through. There's a sense of freedom growing within our perception. The more that we perceive through freedom, where there's no boundaries and also just blessing everything, and loving everything, even when it feels the opposite. Just really accepting that this is love. You'll see it transform in front of your eyes. It's really difficult being a human being. I find it's quite a journey for all of us, and I feel that we're very brave and very courageous just being here and going through all this change within our energy systems. There's a sense of not knowing, of course, and there's been so much fear. And this fear is part of the equation of us being human. Where things can shift in any given moment. We can be in a certain place within ourselves, and it can shift, and poof, it's changed. And it's okay if it feels a comfortable shift. But if it's feeling uncomfortable, which is what lots of us are experiencing, as we become more light and we become the light of ourselves, our perception is awakening more and more to this wisdom and this sense of freedom that brings to a completely different life, different forms of communication that we can really look at and understand and feel, that is part of our creativity and comes straight from source and creator. There's lots of humor in there and lots of joy, where the heart can be opened in any moment as well. Can bring lots of emotions, lots of tears. It can also bring a great deal of just release, feeling it, and knowing that there is a sense of wonder in everything that we experience in life. So I wanted to speak about being whole, and healing as a term. What is healing? It's a big question, and I might not be able to give you an answer, but I feel that it's important to remember that we are whole, and we can meditate on very simple affirmation of I am whole and healthy, I am healed, I'm already healed, I am healed, and I am whole. It can be a mantra. It can also be a sense of recognition that when we're whole and we feel this holiness inside us, everyone we meet on our path can be seen through the eyes of this wholeness. So there's a higher self-perception there, where we can share ourselves through this vibration of wholeness. When we look at someone and we can see their beauty inside them, we see their light, and also we can see and accept their wholeness, then we are sending that vibration, and this acceptance is healed within what we are sharing, and the person receives this essence of wholeness, holiness. So healing as a term, I'm trying to find the correct words here. Is interesting. There are many types of healing modalities on offer, but as I explained in a previous video about the pure path, that there is a sense of there's a healer inside all of us, and there's a sense of what that is for us as individuals, and we are connected. A recognition of this brings more of that presence within us, which is our acceptance of who we are, and acceptance and the love for ourselves, of every aspect of ourselves. This is true healing, I feel. When I started working with individuals as a healer, and I'm saying working, I'm talking about with this sensitivity and these hands, and working with auras, and it was the most amazing experience for me, and it brought to me a sense of my own wholeness. And it happened after I had my spiritual awakening in 1995. And it was almost immediate, where I found people being drawn towards me, and I was able to work with their energy through the aura. And I didn't even know what an aura was at that time. If somebody had said to me about the aura, I probably would have questioned it. So my journey has been about knowing within all that I needed to know, and being able to use that energy, knowing that everything was brought into balance through me being able to read and quantify, to change the energy of the person into a place that was healed. So when working with the aura, for example, I would touch the aura. It was very interesting, and it was beautiful. And I was being guided to do this. So there was no teaching coming from a physical being. It was all coming through me. And I knew it all already. So I was touching the aura. It was really interesting. It's kind of bouncy effect, where it feels under the fingertips like it's moving. And I was able to feel if there was any holes in the aura. And if I felt that there was a cold spot, or there was some sense of dysfunction, I was able to rub my fingers over it and feel it being repaired under my fingertips. Isn't that amazing? It's like weaving. We talk about the web, but we have a web around us in our aura. We can touch it. It's like an instrument. It's like playing music. Everything is about feeling. So by doing this, I found that it automatically changed the person's physical experience. And if there was any difficulties there physically, then they would just disappear. And it was very powerful. And that was my first experience of being a healer. And then as things progressed, and it's a journey of self-development, of course. So everything changes from inside as I work with different people and I feel into their energy, very, very carefully waiting for that moment. I call this divine timing, where the moment arises and it's felt within, and the person surrenders to the experience. We work together in partnership by my ability to read into the energy field and feel into the energy field and raise the vibration into a higher frequency, looking deeper within with the permission of the individual. I will look into the body. There's things coming through to show itself to me, and I can work with that. It comes in many different forms for me to work with an individual. It may be that I'll read through the eyes and move the energy through my vision, and the energy will change. The light starts to come through, and I see the person become extremely peaceful. There is a sense of deep joy within the experience. And sometimes I touch very lightly parts of the body. I feel it's connected in with the meridians in the body. So I'll touch the hands, the fingertips, inside the hand, the feet, the toes, just really being guided. But it's quite a unique process, that there's a certain element that has come to fruition over the years. So I'm able to really feel into the person. Balancing the masculine and feminine is a big part of the work that I do as well. Very often I'll have a guy come to me who comes and when we work together, I'm actually working with his partner. He might not be aware that that's why he's come to see me. He's just aware that he's there in the space and that we need to work together. And it's amazing because there's been a driving force within him to come and meet me. And I will work with his energy and see within his energy and his deep sensitivity that's usually there, that his partner is coming through for me to work with her as well. So he receives the energy, and the energy goes through into his partner's energy. And therefore they're both receiving healing. Or there may be a connection with the ancestors, and I'll work through the individual to the whole family, knowing that there is a sharing and a flow of energy where we're all one and everything is complete. So when we go into the process of healing with a healer, we're not just going there for ourselves. This is not a selfish process. This is a very loving process, being drawn towards another and being drawn towards a healer who you feel a connection with. There's an affinity. The healer will know, as I know when I connect and I meet people, that we're meant to work together. There's no pressure there, never any pressure. So entering into that field of awareness, when you're receiving energy from someone who is authentic, particularly, and I'm talking about my own authentic healing process, the person will be receiving energy for many, many, many people sometimes. It may be that they're receiving it for a whole lifetime of energy, or it may be many lifetimes. The multidimensional self can open up, and I can see the divine within the person. And it's very, very powerful in terms of the heart. It's quite common for the tears to come through myself as I assist in this process. And it's very, also, we often sit together after the session, and there can be tears on both sides, as we know we've shared something that is so divine that there's a deep love there, a deep, deep love between myself and my clients. So you can probably feel this energy coming through as I talk about it. It's amazing. I can't explain it. I'm sorry, I can't explain anything. It is extremely sacred work. If you want to experience it, then just let me know, and we can talk about it, or we can see if it's meant for you. But there is a deep, deep, deep sensitivity that is beyond words. It is not something that can be advertised, or this is quite a tricky one for me to put into words. People find me through my vibration, and they may have got to know me through a connection that they have with someone, or it may be that they're on the internet one day and my face pops up in front of them, or some of my writing. I've got lots of writing on the internet. Or maybe they see my book. I've had some really interesting stories about how individuals have found me. And it always makes me laugh because there is, as I said, there's lots of humor in these energies that I speak about. So it is very sacred work, and also it's extremely special. It's not something that can be shared with another person. Your experience of receiving and healing yourself is so authentic and so unique that it needs to be kept inside and loved. You will change through the process, which is, it can be quite overwhelming. I've seen some people change in a way that is like, wow. It's like, because it's a new person that's coming through. The spiritual midwife inside me is helping to rebirth. I'm assisting with the birthing of the new individual that's coming through. And it can be quite overwhelming. It's, as I said, it's difficult to put into words. I see the person change in front of me as I work with them. And I may be working with someone for an hour, and they may be in the space for like 2 hours, but there's no time because it's divine timing. So the time just dissolves and disappears. There may be a whole afternoon or a whole morning that disappears as everything comes into balance and everything is set through this divine timing that I speak about. So this in itself is amazing because there's a sense of not just safety, but also real freedom there within the experience. And I usually work with the person through 3 or 4 sessions. Each session, there's more light retained within the individual. It depends on the person, of course, but generally speaking, it's usually 3 or 4 sessions. And by the end of these sessions, the person will be able to hold their light and their frequency, and I'm there for guidance if they ever need any support. So I'm explaining my own healing in terms of what I offer. But the term healing is very wide. And again, I'm not quite sure it's the word that should be used. It's a process, and it's important to connect with the person that feels connected with you, where you feel drawn together There is no doubt about it. It's 100%. It's very beautiful. So I'm just sending energy today. We don't have much light in Edinburgh today. A little bit light coming in just now, but there's quite a change happening in the atmosphere around this part of the world. Everything is feeling lighter. Even when there's no light, it's still lighter. So, so I'm just sending some blessings through, and lots of joy and harmony. I'm just wishing everyone a beautiful day, and also really feeling this processing that's happening on the planet as a place of clarity and deep, deep love for one another. This deep connection with the source of life and oneness, that we're all one. So I'll speak to you soon. Have a good day. Namaste.